This is Bridget Round with Divine Essentials. We're going to do a reading with the Celestial Oracle, which is one of the decks I've created to help with learning astrology and also just connecting with messages. It's available on my Etsy shop if you are interested in it, but I'm going to see what comes through for the collective at this time. What message do we need to know? I'm looking at the dolphin. The dolphins have still been very significant at this time, and we have Cancer coming through, which is a watery animal, and it is about caring, compassion, and passion, okay? This has also been a recurring theme this last week. Anytime I've used this deck in private readings, this has been coming through for people, and it's about self-care. It's about taking care of yourself, your foundation, your personal needs, but also nurturing others too. And like, in order to nurture others, you need to nurture yourself. You need to take care of yourself so that you can do that. And then we have the third house coming through with I think and communicate, which is connected to the Gemini Mercury energy. Okay, so this is all about communication, social media. You may be being guided to share some sort of message, or you may be attracting in some sort of messages, but I do also feel like this is a reminder to be compassionate with the messages that you're getting, receiving, and delivering, and there may be like heightened emotions at this time. We also have Saturn coming through with Capricorn energy, which is all about karma, order, structure, hard work, being mature, professional. This energy, I've also noticed a theme in the collective that's been popping up for myself specifically, where it's like these little reminders are coming up, and I'm like running into versions of myself in different ways. It's hard to explain, but like, you know, your feed is always filled with different things, right? And sometimes the things that pop up, they resonate. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's kind of like, you know, you resonate with somebody, or sometimes you think you do, and then they say something and you're like, oh, totally not, like whatever with this person, like they totally different vibe from me. I feel like when we're out of alignment, sometimes we'll start to see more of that, and the more we can come into alignment and remind ourselves of like who we are, what we're here to do, our, you know, essence, we'll start to attract more people in that essence. Also, the more positive you are, the more you care about yourself, the more you are communicating in a way that's clear to your mind and to others around you, the more you're going to see feedback that like mirrors that. You know, so like last night, it was a weird thing. I don't even know how I stumbled onto this person, but I ended up stumbling onto someone, and they are similar to me, where they are into the spiritual stuff, but they also know a lot about marketing and, you know, like that type of thing, like running a spiritual business or running a business in general, being a mentor, being a coach. And what I find that there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people out there who are able to do those things or resonate with some way of being in that way, but a lot of them do things that are against what I believe in or feel icky to me. I'm like, I would not do that. Like, there's a lot of people out there who lie, or there's people out there who use tactics to get others to do certain things, or to feel a certain way, and it's all about just the end game of money. And I've never resonated with that. I learned all about marketing because it like interested me, and it was kind of fascinating to me, and I also saw how well it worked on people, and I was like I want to be aware so that I don't get sucked into that shit, because I watched my mom spend, you know, lots of money. I've watched my dad, he sends me these things, and I'm like, if it has ClickBank on it, don't buy it. Like, and I shouldn't say that, because I'm sure there are ClickBank products out there that are good, but I know the other end of ClickBank. I know the other end of all the things, because I'm the person that scrolls to the bottom of the website and looks at all the stuff, and like I can deep dive into all of these things. The reason why I even learned about that stuff to begin with was because I was like desperate to make money from home. So I was like, well, I'll need to learn this and learn that. And so I learned all of those things, but they felt so icky to me that I was like, ew. And I realized you don't need to do those things. You don't need to be icky. You don't need to lie to people. You don't need to manipulate people to get people. Like, she was on that board. Okay, she's like, we don't need to do that. Like, there's a lot of people out there, oh, you want to make $7,000 in the next 2 hours? Blah, 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 blah. And they travel off in their fucking like magical car to some big mansion, and it's all fake and it's all a lie. And it doesn't work, but the people who fall for it, it works for that person because you were there listening to their bullshit. So she's not into that. And also, I just the other day saw a thing that was connected to a video that I made years ago about my story, where I was authentically expressing myself, and that is what we need to do. We need to authentically express ourselves. We need to authentically communicate and take the road that may be less traveled, or the road that is the only really true way to get anywhere. You're not going to be successful by manipulating other people. You may for the short term, but you won't be in the long term. You need to take your time and grow and evolve and be authentic. And she was sharing her story. Like, she wrote a book about her growing up and her trauma and her mom and her blah, 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 and all this really bad stuff that happened. And I saw like I don't even know, I think she just posted this, but she has like a really good podcast and lots of people watch it. She's a millionaire, like, but she came from nothing, and she came from like a very similar background. My trauma was a little bit different than her trauma, but it was very similar. And her sharing that authentic story of hers, like where she came from and how traumatic it was and all of that, was also synchronistic because I remembered that 6 years ago, I shared a story, like a 2-hour-long video on my Bridget channel, all about all the stuff, because I was doing this thing, right, where I was like, okay, like, because I had stopped being friends with a group of people that all tried to, like, do some bad shit and say bad shit and, like, throw shit against me that, like, they had learned about me over the years, but it was like, all right, well, I'll just do what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tell my story anyways. Like, at least it's coming out of my mouth. Like, I don't hide it. I'm not lying about it. Let me just do it myself. But then last night, another thing on TikTok I saw was like the 8 Mile thing from that movie 8 Mile with Eminem. And he's like, tell these people something they don't know about me. And so that was very synchronistic. And so, again, we're being like, this has been happening for days. It's like the dolphins, or this, or that. It's just nonstop. But we're also going to be being introduced to people that we're meant to communicate with that can help us to restructure ourselves and to get organized and to remember what we're here to do. And remember that our voice and our communication, our story is unique and it's meant to be shared to inspire others. We have everything has an origin story. I just split the deck and here we go. And every story has pieces that lead back to tomorrow. No matter how far you go, there you will be. And a lot of us are always trying to escape ourselves or trying to run away from our truth, or we're trying to protect ourselves or avoid things that have happened, right? And so that was coming up a lot too, is like the avoidance stuff of, she had a video about that because I ended up like going to her Instagram. The first person we're talking about was like the business stuff and all that. And one of her things was like, some people avoid certain things and that causes them to continue to be struggling financially. Like if you're avoiding paying a certain bill until like the last day, is that you're coming from a lack vibration. And I just said this to someone the other day that I was doing a reading for. I'm like, if you go into a store and you're counting everything that you put into the cart that's a lack vibration, you're constricting yourself. Don't be crazy. Don't go in there and put everything into the cart. But if you know I have $50 in your pocket and the items that you most likely just are going to grab is under $50, don't go so crazy as to like count everything. And when you don't, you may be surprised that it's a lot less than what you expected because you're not anxious. You're not like, it does. It works. I've seen it happen. It changed my life when I started doing things like that. But we can go back down, right? We can have a downfall again. And so people come back into our reality, or new people come into our reality to trigger and remind us of things that we already know. Like today, my dad sent me a message and he was like, oh, hey, my uncle, who is one of the people who's always like, oh, she should get like a real job, boop, like, has kind of dismissed who I am and what I do. Even though I've done really well with what I do and had a lot of great feedback and, whatever. But like, it's just one of those things that sometimes our family people will always see us in a certain way. I was a heroin addict. I was, a mess up. I dropped out of high school. Like there's a whole story there. So a lot of the people that know me from my whole life have a thing about me that they think. And it's like, I don't even identify with that version of myself anymore because it's so far away. But things like this pop up. So my dad had saw something about Joe Dispenza one night and he immediately thought of my uncle. And the next day I was like, hey, and sent him things. And my uncle responded with, oh my God, I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks. So this is a couple of weeks ago. He just finished this up yesterday. My uncle went to see Joe Dispenza, went to his whole thing and went through the whole program, his courses, he's got his books and all of that. Now my dad has access to the course and the books. And today, my dad messaged me to let me know that he talked to my uncle, and my uncle's like, Bridget was right all along, oh my God, and is like mind blown at the shit that I've been fucking telling everybody for a long time, before even fucking Joe Dispenza popped up. Like, I was telling these people this shit. But hey, that's okay. Sometimes they need a different person to deliver the message or to get it through to them. But like, even that is like another reminder, because like now my dad's like asking my opinion of Joe Dispenza because like now I'm being accredited with, oh, you actually know shit, oh, actually doing stuff. Where? But like my dad's not like, he knows that I do these things. He knows that I know these things. But I don't think he knows to the degree. You know what I mean? Like, I don't slam shit on people. Like, people come to my videos because they want to come to my videos. They want to learn. They want to heal. They want to grow. People come get a private reading with me because they want more. But people come get soul chats with me because they want to chat with me. Like, I don't push it on anybody. But yeah, you're going to be seeing more of this. And I feel like it's also connected to the Pleiadian lineup because it's happening from now to the 20th. And it has been going on for the past few days. You may have people walk into your life or interactions with people that are triggers or reminders to fire you up. It's like versions of yourself, but also guides. Okay. So like, and it could be weird. It could be like a weird interaction that just feels weird or like sticks out to you. Like sometimes you like somebody comes up and is like, hey, do you know where the toilet paper is? And you don't because you don't work there. But like there's something about the interaction that sticks with you. A lot of times it's something like that. But I've noticed it's evolving. It's becoming more like in your face. Like this is another version of you. This is a reminder of what you believe in and like what you can do because you've done before. So you need to shift back into that consciousness, into that emotional state. You need to let go of the trauma and the things that have brought you back into the disalignment or like the emotional dysregulation that has caused the mind to go to places that it does not need to be in or are detrimental to the creation around you. But no matter how far you go off the path, no matter where you find yourself, you will continue to run back into yourself, and it's not a straight path, okay? So things are cyclical. You are, and again, I feel like we're coming to an end of like the 16-year cycle, but we're also coming to an end of a 7-year cycle. I've been noticing that like very specifically, and 7 has been synchronistic and all of these things. We are coming to the end of a cycle, and it's like a do-over where now we can achieve, all right? We can have new traditions, we can bring our status up, and we can manifest our legacy, all right? But it's again, you get to be the one that is creating the reality. So you need to be balanced between the creator and the receptor. Allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to manifest and to do so that you can receive, but try to find a balance between these energies and align with the new beliefs and the new philosophy and the new ideas that are going to support that, so you can bring your perspective out, okay? Bring it out to a grand place. See from a grand scale so that you can understand what's going on and be disciplined with this. Like it's very powerful, and it's like you're retraining everything about you. And another thing that's been synchronistic about this, okay, so like that lady last night was talking about we need to download a new program, right? We need to like upgrade our system. And that resonated with me very strongly because I've been thinking about that before, and I've said that to people before. I'm like, think of your brain or yourself as like a computer system. Like we need to change out the hard drive. We need to like do an upgrade. We need to do some stuff here. We need to get rid of the old programs and put the new ones in. And we want to like imagine that we're actually doing that. And she was like, let's like put like a new chip in you and take out the old one and reprogram everything, right? And so then today I had sent my dad, because he apparently had gone and bought the one of Joe Dispenza's books, and I was like, it's for free. They have it free on YouTube, Dad. So I went and I got them. I got the 2 that I knew the names of them off the top of my head and sent them to him. And he was like, what the hell? I'm never buying a book yet. But he got those. And then a podcast popped up with him in it. And I was listening to it when I went to the grocery store. And he was literally saying the same thing about downloading a new consciousness, like changing the program, thinking of it in that way, right? This is what I wrote last night. It's time to download a new system. Time to update and clear out the viruses, install new protection and security, clear up the history, and make space. Integrate new expansive beliefs and data, and allow for a conscious Creator 2.0. There's no limitation on creation for new higher speeds, instant access, high quality pro level visionary and imagery, unlimited ideas and inspiration, step-by-step guidance and actions, automatic system updates and innovations, instant access download and connect to the cloud for free now. And we're going to click that button, and we're going to allow for that super speed loading to happen, and there'll be task management running in the background, and there's going to be 24/7 optimizing and rebooting, analyzing, clearing, integrating, affirming, defining our beliefs, expanding and aligning, updating. Congratulations. And digital calendar reminders are going to be things like I'm enough, I'm valuable, I'm powerful, I'm successful, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm magnetic, I get paid to exist, yeah. A lot of weird shit going on. But look at what I look down to see. Nurture. 4th house, connected to the Cancer, connected to the moon, about our home, our foundation, our self-care. We need to take care of our mind because our inner world will reflect into the outer world, okay? Exploring the internal planes helps because consciousness creates all of your dreams. But if you're not in the right place, or your way that you're feeling or showing up is not correct, the things that you're going to bring in are not going to be correct, right? So think about your first appearances, think about like a new beginning, and allow yourself to make a good first impression on others. Cut away the things that are not serving you, the people that are not serving you, the ideas that are not serving you, the old version of yourself that's not serving you, the old system we're going to be letting go, and magical moonbeams heal your soul. The dust shows divine eyes where to go. I went outside the other night when the full moon was here to release some of the stuff that I had done in the ritual and the live, and there was a lot of dust out there. It was crazy. It was weird. It didn't even look real. But we are shedding outgrown layers and aspects of ourselves so that we can access the new place. We're surrendering into our dreams. It's an ending of the old, and it's a new beginning. But you can be poetic at this time, gentle at this time, nurturing at this time, intuitive as you're clearing the emotional blocks and allowing for like the elixirs and the crystals and the energy to come in that's going to inspire you to do what you need to do to shake up the monotony and overcome the darkness and the things that have been blocking you. But light codes of awakening are breaking the old paradigm. So we're healing, we're shifting, we're aligning to a new energy, and we're letting go of the old outdated beliefs and all of that. So yeah, hopefully this serves you.